kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds, and when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
Welcome to Martinsville Speedway in round number 8 of the CleanRacing.net Truck Series. Tony Trapasso back in the booth with you. Thank you so much for all the reach outs that have happened over the past couple of weeks here as I have been under the weather. Thank you so much for all your concern. I am doing 1,000% better as we are really closing in on the end of this season. Round number 8 of 10 here tonight at Martinsville for 161 laps. Taking a quick look at the weather, 77-degree ambient air temperature, partly cloudy skies, 2-mile-an-hour wind, pretty negligible, 56% water drain, which means these engines are going to be making gobs of horsepower. But take a look at that track temperature. Only 82 degrees, which means there is a lot of bite in the paperclip tonight. Hot lap sessions getting ready to wind on down here as some of the usual suspects up at the front of this ping. Justin Carey, Nate Brown, Trevor Ryan, all at the top of this piece currently. As Timmy Cook goes fourth quick. As that is going to do it for hot laps as we get ready to click on over to the qualifying session. And it is about to get fun here tonight at the paperclip. As 5 minutes on the clock, let's see who's going to be the first one to roll it. And big surprise here. Everybody's favorite Canadian, Jamie LaRoque, going to be the first one to roll it off pit road. Jeremy Morrison, our other favorite friend from the Great White North, up on track, trying to lengthen the start to get up to speed to get a good flyer here. Ken Aylen, Shane Calhoun, Trevor Ryan, all out on track right now. Morrison goes purple in the first sector and is immediately bumped off that by this man, Evan Kenny. Let's see what the second sector is going to look like. Kenny to the top of the pile. And who do I have in my booth with me? Hello? Hello? Would that happen to be Abram Gaston joining us? Apparently it was, and he didn't want to talk. Greg Barnett goes second quick. Let's take a look at Nate Brown for Brownie Racing. Definitely a brightly colored vehicle there. Abram Gaston, do you have us now, sir?
Yeah, I'm here, buddy. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm good. Just off some vacation time, so not too good on this track. So I'm gonna hang in the back, but looking forward to it.
Absolutely. It's good to finally talk to you, my friend. We've missed you the past couple of times you've been on the podium. Good to be able to put a voice to the truck.
Absolutely, you do a great job, bud. Um, Try to
Oh,
get to this, do the best I can, and see what happens.
no, I appreciate that. Best of luck to you tonight, sir.
Thank you, buddy. Have a good one.
You too. As we're following along with Tom Richter right now, as he is going to be the next one to lay time. Only about 2 minutes left as we're still waiting on Mike McCray, Brian Toole, Avram Gaston, Fred Garcia, James Rayburn Jr., Steve West, and Jeremy Moore to all lay times down here tonight. Across the line for Richter, that's going to put him 8th quick on the first one. Let's see if he can improve on the second one. So far, everyone has. Into 3 and 4 with a good head of steam. Is going to improve so far. Let's see what the second sector looks like. Does not improve. Stays 8th quick. $24 trucks or haulers in the infield tonight. 24 trucks taking pit stalls. So we've got a pretty solid field. This is about a perfect size field for the half mile here at Martinsville. And it's asymmetrical. 3 and 4 are actually just a tick tighter than 1 and 2 are. That's why we call it the paperclip. But as you can see, there's a lot of rubber laid down on the low line. They've worked that second line in pretty decently, though, especially on corner exit. So we could see some good side-by-side action here tonight as qualifying getting ready to wind on down. If you aren't out on track already and have taken the green flag, you are not going to get a time, with pole time only being a 19.63. So about half a second slower than what we saw last night in the Cup cars here at the Paperclip. That's not too shabby. I mean, the time that Justin Carey and Ken Pack laid down, and for that matter, your top 5 would have been solidly top 20 in that 30-car field that we had last night in the Cup race. So that's pretty impressive. As qualifying is now done and dusted, as we bring up the starting grid for tonight, starting up on the point with a 19.52. That is going to be the 21 of Justin Carey. He's going to be joined on the front row with KP Racing's Ken Pack. The Brownie Racing namesake, Nate Brown, is going to start inside row number 2, and he's going to be joined with his teammate, Evan Kinney, starting 4th quick. Season 12 champion, Greg Barnett, going to start from inside row number 3. He's going to be joined with Larry Stubblefield. Trevor Ryan and Tom Richter going to make up row number 4. Row 5 gives us James Nielsen and Tim Cook. Chris Smith and Jamie LaRoque going to roll it from row number 6. Row 7 is going to go to Shane Calhoun. He's going to be joined with the Canadian crippler, Jeremy Morrison, Dominic Rossi, and Ken Ayland in row number 8. And Tommy Osborne, the last car to take time, or truck to take time, going to start inside row number 9 with the 9 of Jeremy Moore. Abram Gaston, who we just spoke to, said he was going to start towards the back. He's going to be joined in row number 10 with Brian Toole. James Rayburn Jr. and Mike McCrae going to roll it from row number 11. Row 12 is going to see the chief cook and bottle washer of the CleanRacing.net Truck Series. Again, Fred Garcia, thank you for all that you do for this league. He's going to be joined in row number 12 with Steve West. And that is going to do it for the 24 truck field here tonight. As looks like we've got everyone except Moore and West currently. But a lot of beautiful trucks here tonight making the call. The flagger is ready. The fans are on their feet in the stands. And it looked like Moore just barely made it. No, Moore and West electing to pit start. As the field starts to roll it behind that abomination that is the iRacing pace car. Bring back the Mustang, the official pace car of iRacing. Again, 161 laps of scheduled distance, 4 sets of tires to get it done with. 70% fuel fill, which means we're looking for pit stops, depending on cautions, I dare say 60, 70 laps. As Austin Carey going to have the button, or Justin Carey going to have the button in the 21. Geico restart zone is in effect tonight. As the field works its way to 3-4 complex pace car getting ready to peel on off. The only thing left for me to say is it's time to wipe the visor and adjust the 5-point harness. Grandma, grab a hot dog because it's time to get it on in Martinsville. Race fans, it's show time! Carey getting a good getaway. Ken Pack hanging with him. Side by side, Nate Brown and Evan Kinney, the two teammates. Luckily, they're teammates, or else they'd be going after each other even harder. And there he is, the POWMIA number 38 of Season 12 champion Greg Barnett, right behind him as they start to get single filed out in the front of this piece. Still side by side back here, just inside the top 10. Stubblefield and Nilsson going after each other. The 18 of Trevor Ryan on Stubblefield right now. Ryan trying to make some headway already. Just cannot get the drive off. And Stubblefield's holding him down. That's what's going on there. Finally gets the clear coming through 1 and 2. That opens the door for the 7 of James Nielsen to get to the inside of Stubblefield. Stubblefield finally lets him go. Stops the hemorrhaging. And now Tom Richter working the outside on Tim Cook. Cook has to chase it down the track as they are still side by side. This is your battle for 10th. Cook in 9th, Richter in 10th, still side by side. One of them's got to give. Oh, that's going to cost him. Richter eats the wall down the front stretch. He's going to lose a couple of them here. As now Chris Smith works to the inside of Richter, and it opens the door for Dominic Rossi to get there. Rossi gives him an opening. Richter's not taking it, though, as Rossi now shuts the door, pulls alongside, coming off of 4. Everybody a little tail happy. Richter getting a better drive. He's going to open the door, finally able to stop the hemorrhaging. Meanwhile, up in front of this piece, Justin Carey continues to show the way. Single file out right now. Back here with Jeremy Morrison. He's trying to climb his way forward. Tommy Osborne already +4, up to 13. Next battle is going on back here. That's Mike McCrate and Abram Gaston were going after each other there for a little bit. Fred Garcia right behind him. As McCrate in the 008, that nuclear banana Pennzoil machine, sideways off the 2 as chased down the track. That's going to give Gaston some breathing room. As Gaston now starts to work on James Rayburn Jr. in that purple truck in front of him. Looking to the inside, going into 1. Gonna bomb it in there. Rayburn saw him coming, gonna give him the spot. Gaston now back to where he started, back even. As McCrate sideways. Rayburn's had it well spotted, backed off of it. Fred Garcia jammed on the binders. Somebody just ate the wall a little bit. Looked like it may have been Garcia, just brushed it going into 1. A lot of battling going on here at the back end of this field. Checking back in with James Nielsen as he and Larry Stubblefield still going after each other. Still pretty single filed out in front of them. One of your biggest movers right now is that man, Dominic Rossi, as he's trying to figure out how to get by Tom Richter, back by Tom Richter, I should say. Brian Jewell also sitting +3, as is Tommy Osborne in the deuce. There he is. Sharp-looking truck for Jeremy Moore, although he is a lap down now after electing the pit start. That Ray-Ban Shell? Why does that say Ferrari? Oh, Jesus. You know, there's an unwritten rule in iRacing with the IndyCar side of things that if somebody has a Formula One paint scheme on an IndyCar, they're probably going to wreck the field. I'm not sure how I feel about Jeremy Moore having a Formula One paint scheme on a truck. Checking back up here with Nielsen and Stubblefield. Stubblefield keeping Nielsen honest right now as they're still single file in front of them. Your top 3 starting to pull a little bit of a gap is Justin Carey already getting into some lap traffic. I believe that, yes, it is. Fred Garcia. He's already to the tail end of the guys that started on track as Garcia gets up and out of the way. Let's turn on the tickers. I keep forgetting to do that. And while we're at it, we're also going to give a shout out to our good friends at the ringsidereport.net for all your MMA, kickboxing, Muay Thai, regular boxing, wrestling, combat sports, for all your combat sport needs. You need to look no further than the ringsidereport.net, and you can find their podcast on all your favorite streaming services. Carey now works his way around Mike McCrate. McCrate staying low. Now Carey has good breathing room as Evan Kinney all over the tailgate of Ken Pack as they were held up just a little bit by the 008 there. He's going to stay low, still give him the concrete. And that's going to help everybody a little bit later as now your top 3 have gotten clear. Taking back a look here around 6. That is a freight train and an angry pack of wolves from 5th on back. That's Craig Barnett, Trevor Ryan, James Nielsen, and Larry Stubblefield running stem to stern. Little beating and banging going on as the 7 of Nielsen gets into Ryan, and oh, hang on to her. Oh boy. Why is that not a caution? Why is that not a caution?
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Finally. So watch this. McCrate is going to hold up Brown, and I don't think he realizes it. Brown going to get the run. Gets held up a little bit there. Gets a better run off of 4. Pushes McCrate out of the way. Oh, the 38 of Greg Barnett gets into it, and the 7 just finishes off the 008. And it took forever for the officials to throw the caution there. And that's what you call situational awareness, folks. Especially if you're a lap car, you've got to be aware. F3 is your best friend to know that, hey, that's a lead lap vehicle behind me. I need to get out of the hell out of the way. And Mike McCrate's truck looks like he has been through a war. As we are back live. Good grief. Greg Barnett came down pit road to get some damage repaired there. Jeremy Moore has decided to park it. Oh, no, he didn't. He just came down for a little splash of fuel. Evan Kinney and Nate Brown both electing to stay out. Justin Carey came down pit road for 4 in fuel after only 25 laps. Interesting. I am seriously digging the 91 paint scheme tonight. If you haven't tried it, Liquid Death is canned spring water. And I'm normally not a fan of bottled waters, especially the name brand bottled waters. Because a lot of them actually contain sodium. Liquid Death out of the can actually tastes like you're drinking out of a spring up in the mountains. It's just, and it doesn't have that tin can taste that can sometimes translate into beverages. So working lap 26 of 160 here tonight. As we are getting ready to turn them back loose. I would dare say we're about halfway through the fuel run. Roughly. 60 to 70 laps is I think all you're going to be able to get under anger out of a tank and go fast here tonight at the Paperclip with a 70% fuel fill in these trucks. But I could be wrong. I've been known to be wrong before, and if I am, I do apologize. I want to thank everybody for joining us in the live chat. Tommy checking in. Good to have you back with us, my friends. As green flag comes back out, and here we go. Those Brownie teammates went together. Nate Brown getting an excellent jump. It's got James Nielsen to his inside, though. That's the bad news.
Yellow flag is out.
Ah, crap. Oh, no. Oh, no. Mike McCrate pointing the wrong way again. Jeremy Moore, Greg Barnett, all involved in this one. Oh, what happened here? McCrate gets turned by Morrison. Oh! Moore and Barnett absolutely nowhere to go, and I thought Canadians were supposed to be nice. Let's watch that one again from the eye in the sky. Keep your eye on the yellow truck. As that's Mike McCrae. Green flag comes out. He gets a good jump. Gets to the inside of Rayburn. Opens the door, though. Morrison's going to look as Rayburn goes high. And car high, bud. Just completely turns him. Jeremy Moore, nowhere to go. We're back under caution. Well, we are under caution. I'm going to step away, pay a couple bills, and we'll be back right after this. Don't worry, folks. You're not going to miss a single moment of action as we go side by side. And we are back in Martinsville as the green flag comes out. And we are back at it. Evan Kinney has the button. And James Nielsen wasted no time getting around Brown. And here comes the 18 of Trevor Ryan. Brushes the wall, coming off of 4. We got one around in the back. That's the 14 of Chris Smith. Go back and take a look at that one.
Yellow flag is out.
And the yellow flag does go nerfed. Let's go take a look at what brought that yellow flag out. Keep your eye on the 42. That's the blue and black truck on the low side. So Smith gets booted. And that's Dominic Rossi in the 42 that we're following. Let's take a look at what happened here. Looks like, oh, did he get the chrome horn? Yes, he did. Right on corner exit. 34 just pile drove him. Everybody else doing a great job to avoid him. Smith getting that truck woed down. Oy. This is what happened to Smith. Actually, we're going to have to back that up a lap. So here's Smith. The 12's going to try to go around him on the outside. Keeps his position. 21 makes a great run on the outside. And net code from hell. I could have wheeled my fat crippled ass in my wheelchair between those two trucks, and it just spit Smith right down to the inside wall. Luckily, the next lap, the caution came out. Oy vey. Caution number 3. Gonna be another one of those effing nights, isn't it? For those of you that weren't with us last night, we did set a new record here at Martinsville. Most number of cautions in a sim racing media broadcast. 33. Let me say that again. 33 cautions last night. And now I'm being tortured again. Sarah Stubblefield, thank you so much for checking in with us. Your boy's doing pretty good right now. Currently sits +2. Little bit of front end damage on the 80 deuce. Currently +2 in the 4th position. That truck looks like a mess. I don't know if that engine's going to last 160 laps. With as much as that nose is caved in, his temperatures, if we get a long green flag run, the temperatures in that truck are going to do nothing but continue to just rise and rise and rise. And that is going to hand grenade. He's got to be extra careful moving forward. Let me just make sure we are live. Lights are out on the pace car. Evan Kinney going to have the button one more time, and he's going to have trouble because that is the 18 of Trevor Ryan right behind him. Coming through 3 and 4. Geico restart zone in effect. Into the zone they go.
Green, green, green.
91 pulls the trigger. 18 of Ryan gets the inside of Nielsen. Nielsen trying to hang tough on that outside. Drag race going into 3. Here comes Ryan up the inside. Stubblefield looking to follow him through. Not close enough to make it happen yet. Battle for a second rages on. Ryan gets a little bit better run. Finally getting the clear. Checking back in here with Nate Brown as that is Ken Pack on the fresher shoes.
Yellow flag is out.
Ah, crap. Why? All right, then. I don't even have words. I really don't. Caution number 4. And if you're playing the at-home drinking game, or if you're not familiar with the at-home drinking game, there's 2 versions of it. Version 1. Every time a caution comes out, you take a shot. Now, you can play the professional version of the game. Now, the pro version is, every time a caution comes out, you take a number of shots for whatever number caution we're on. So, caution 1, you take 1 shot. Caution 2, you take 2 shots. Caution 3, you take 3 shots. Caution 4, if you're still standing, you take 4 shots. If you haven't passed out from alcohol poisoning, on caution 5, you take 5 shots. If you're still not dead, on caution 6, you take 6 shots. At which point, you might want to have somebody in the room with you getting ready to call 911 to have your stomach pumped. And the trick is, when the checkered flag flies, if you haven't died of alcohol poisoning, you win. I feel sorry for everyone that was playing last night, considering we went 32 cautions. Currently working caution, I believe 4, maybe 4th caution. As the lights go out on the iRacing pace car, Evan Kinney, Trevor Ryan, Tom Ricker, Justin Carey, Ken Pack, Nate Brown, Avram Gaston, son of a bitch. Remind me to punch whoever's in race control tonight. Just on general principle, remind me to punch them later. Mike McCray, the first one to receive the Dairy Queen Award tonight after having 2 cautions laid on him. He was pointed the wrong way on a one-way street twice. He was actually the cause of the caution. Granted, the second one was not his fault. But because he got charged with 2 cautions, he is DQ'd and has been sent packing after only 25 laps. Currently working, going to restart on lap 50 of 160 here tonight. Into the Geico restart zone they come.
Green, green, green.
Kenny has the trigger and he pulls it. Ryan and Richter both +5. Still side by side is Richter able to get by Ryan. Here comes Justin Carey on the fresher shoes. He last pit on lap 22, so fresher tires than the trucks in front of him. And don't look now, but the man we talked to before this race, Avram Gaston, already into the top 10. Excuse me, sitting +11. A lot of battling going on behind him as Dominic Rossi and Jeremy Moore go door to door. It's Ken Aylen and Jeremy Morrison now. Aylen in that freight train CSX number 52. It's now James Nielsen making it stick on the top shelf. Nielsen's found something. That second lane starting to come in. Oh my goodness. That's good to see. Which means this thing is not going to be a one-lane dance tonight. As Smith and Stubblefield were going after each other. Stubblefield getting the spot. He's found the same thing Nielsen has. As now he's working on the back of Shane Calhoun. There is Stubblefield in the 80 deuce. Now works the inside on the 11. Bombs it in there, gets the clear in the middle of the corner. And just like that, Stubblefield clawing his way back up through this field. Nicely done, sir. Now he's working on Jamie LaRoque and quickly makes work of the 15. Now sets his sights on James Rayburn Jr. Stubblefield on a charge right now. I'll tell you who else is looking good is that 75 of Jeremy Morrison as he bombs it in on the double deuce of Avram Gaston. That's going to open the door for Nelson to get to him too. Nelson now works the inside. Gaston gives them both room. Knows we've got a ton of racing left to go. As Nate Brown and Tim Cook going after each other now. That's Brown in the yellow truck on the low side. Timmy Cook on the top shelf where Mama hides the cookies. As long as you stay on the concrete, you're going to be good. And Cook is cooking it right now on that top side. Gets such a better run into the corner, can go so much deeper. Late apexes the corner, just like that, he dispatches. Here comes Dominic Rossi to the inside of Halen now. You can see the right side damage on Rossi's 40 deuce. As he's following the 80 deuce of Stubblefield up through the field. Your biggest mover, though, is that man in the 22, Avram Gaston, in 10th place, currently sits +9. Man who's on a recovery drive right now, that's the 21 of your pole sitter, Justin Carey. Currently back into a podium position. Looking for more, though, as he's trying to reel in Tom Richter. Richter +6, currently sits in 2nd place. And Carey's looking to the inside, and I don't think that early apex is working for the 21. These guys are finally starting to pick him up and lay him down. It's Cook and Brown going after each other still. Brown has gotten back by Cook. Oh my goodness. Jeremy Morrison just got yeeted. This is the lap before. You can see the 7 there in your shot. That's James Nelson. And watch this. Too much rear brake, and around she goes. Boom goes the dynamite. And the caution comes out. And with that, we are going to step away, pay a couple bills, and we'll be back after this. And we are back underway at the paperclip. Kenny stayed out, gets a better jump. Here comes Justin Carey on the fresher shoes. Now, we did see some of the guys out just outside the top 10. Actually, from about 5th on back, Tom Richter has the freshest tires inside the top 10 right now. As he just finished service, everybody behind him 4 in fuel. Everybody in front of him came down on lap 44, 44, 22, and Evan Kinney has yet to pit. Richter trying to work those fresh shoes in on Stubblefield. Stubblefield hanging tough, though. Richter pinches him down, coming off a 4, though. That cost Stubblefield a little bit on exit. Could not lay the power down as effectively as he wanted to. Comes Richter back on the high side. These guys are just duking it out for 4th and 5th. Slugfest, if you will. Stubblefield's got to be careful because everybody behind him has 20-lap pressure tires. And we had a decent green flag run there that last time by. Stubblefield trying to make it work as James Nelson fell back into the clutches of those guys battling behind him. Meanwhile, we've got a slugfest for the lead as Carey has caught Kenny. Kenny, though, working that second. Oh, Carey almost around. A little too much rear brake bias, gets it collected. And that is really going to jumble up that lane. It's going to let Stubblefield get back by Richter. Richter, though, battling back tough. These guys are just going after each other like two kids in the back seat of a station wagon on a summer vacation. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. Now I'm touching you. It opens the door for Ken Pack to get by.
Yellow flag is out.
And that is a very unhappy Tom Richter. Watch this again. Here comes the boot. Bang. Richter over the curb, into the grass, up into the marbles, and spins the truck in the loose stuff. Here's what the eye in the sky picked up from the iRacing blimp. They went almost 10 laps without touching each other. Richter gets to clear. Stubblefield went a little bit deeper into the corner. Richter gets into the marbles, tries to lay the power back down. There's no traction there. It almost spins it out. Race control immediately throwing the caution to save lives, if you will. As we are back live. Evan Kinney finally bringing that truck down pit road for 4 in fuel. Currently showing 22 trucks on the lead lap. Greg Barnett, who was a lap down at one point, is now back on the lead lap, getting the free pass that time. That truck has been through a war zone, though. No pun intended. Comes back down pit road, try to get a little more damage fixed on that F-150. How about the double deuce of Avengrass Stone? That Fan Attack Chevy plus 11, currently running inside the top 10 in 8th position after electing to not take a time in qualifying. Imagine what would have happened if he actually would have qualified, where he'd be right now instead of trying to claw his way up through this field. Abram, if you're listening, never doubt yourself again, my friend. You're doing great here. Biggest mover of the night so far. By far. Next closest big mover is going to be Fred Garcia, who's sitting plus 8. Some of that due to attrition. And then you got James Nelson, who's sitting plus 7 due to pit strategy. But that's probably not going to last too much longer. Justin Carey has the button as the pace car peels on off. We get ready to restart them at the halfway mark. Carey brings him into the restart zone, wastes absolutely no time jumping on the loud pedal. And here comes Pack immediately. Oh my, what just happened? Nelson spins the tires, stacks up the lane. Nate Brown gets punted. So the 7's going to spin his tires on the restart. The 82 is going to plow into him. The 5's going to plow into the 82. And, oh, baby. That is the Waffle House situation, folks, where there's trucks scattered, smothered, and covered all over this facility. Watch this one again from the iRacing blimp. You're going to see the 7 spin his tires and go into the wall. There. The 82 kind of slowed down, and unfortunately, nobody behind him knows what a brake pedal is. I think I'm going to have it written into my contract that Martinsville is no longer allowed as a racing facility in any league that I broadcast. It's not that I hate the track. Actually, yes, it is. All this track does is lead to a caution fest. Doesn't matter what series I broadcast. Doesn't matter what vehicles are being used. Martinsville is a wreck fest. Nobody shows patience. Nobody shows finesse. It's all just, I'm going to move you. Justin Carey going to have the button one more time as we're getting ready to turn him back loose after our 6th caution. 7th.
Green, green, green.
Green flag comes back out. Carey gets a good jump. Pack and Ryan go door to door going into turn number 1. Pack on the freshest tires. Here comes Ryan back on the inside. He's got the fresh shoes as well. Stubblefield and Richter still door to door. They've been that way for a while now. Stubblefield finally gets the clear up into a podium position. Pack gets caught on the outside. Here comes Richter up the inside. Gets the curb, loses the front end. Pack had it spotted though. Meanwhile, Stubblefield up into third.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Son of a bitch. Okay. Jamie LaRoque in the 15. Keep your eye on that Chevy Silverado. Flirting with the top 10 right now is... Well, no, there was a car high, bud. And... Oh! It's used as a pinball. Or would you prefer I say billiard ball? Because he was knocked around like no tomorrow. Let's watch that one more time from the eye in the sky. 15 on the low side. 91's going to get the run to his high side after the 75 clears him. And here goes the 75. LaRoque's still down on the low side. Here comes the 91. Looking to make that outside move on the fresher tires. And LaRoque just pinches him up into the wall. Car high, bud. Eighth caution. How's that Bon Jovi song go? I hate my life, it's now or never. I don't want to live forever. I don't want to live, I want... No, I'm sorry. That was dark, wasn't it, folks? I'm sorry, I apologize if I offended anybody.
Hang on, we're not going green.
Well, we're almost in you can make it from here territory. I dare say everybody's going to have to come down for another splash and go, well, maybe not. Justin Carey's probably going to have to come back down. Everybody else might be okay. Gary was last down pit road on lap 22. Which means he has been out there for 94 laps. Sorry, 74 laps. Some of these guys could make it.
We're not going green.
Oh, come on. Why? This is why live race control needs to be in the booth with me. For the simple fact that I need to know what the heck is going on.
Green, green, green.
Green flag does come back out, though. Carey gets the jump. Stubblefield to the inside of Ryan, going into one. Drag race coming off of two. Stubblefield up into second. Doesn't have the clear yet. Trevor Ryan battling back on the top side. Justin Carey, a little bit of trouble through 3 and 4. That's going to stack him up. Gets a better drive off of 4, though. Stubblefield finally gets the clear. Carey able to get down behind him. Now the fun begins. And that is my last nerve. What happened to James Rayburn Jr.? Oh my goodness. Too much rear brake bias and takes out. Oh my goodness. As we are going to reach out to the driver of the 22, Abram Gaston, what just happened from your point of view? Do we have Abram? Apparently we don't. He probably has left the building, and I don't blame him. Take me to the bar with you. And that would be caution number 9. Well, it's not the weather, that's for sure. Because there is a ton of grip right now with the track temperature only being at 80 degrees.
Can you hear me?
Do we have Abram Gaston? And Abram, am I pronouncing your name right?
No, it's Abram.
Abram Gaston.
Ghostin.
Okay. Sorry about that.
Most people call me Abe and Ghost. So Abe Ghost, whatever, either or.
All right. Abe, what happened there that you saw?
Well, I do get into the brakes a little early. I come off the throttle a little early going into turn, but I'm just not sure what James was doing there. Looks like he lost it, got into whoever's on my inside and flipped him into me. So kind of sucked. I was just kind of riding around. seeing what I could do, and it didn't work out.
You had a great run going. You were plus 11 at one point. But,
Yeah,
I couldn't help but think, what would have happened if you would have laid a qualifying lap down? How much further forward would you have been? And, I mean, it's fun watching you climb through the field every week, man, but you may want to consider starting to qualify
Green, green,
because
green.
you know how to make passes cleanly, and you're one of the few that do.
yeah, I've considered it. This track, I'm really bad. I mean, I maybe would have qualified 10th or 11th, maybe 12th, but I really can't put down a lap. I don't know what it is. Long run, I'm good, but on that short one lap, I'm no good. So
Fair enough, my friend.
Yellow flag is out.
Ah, crap. But,
here we go.
yeah, here we go again. But give me 1 second here. As we will see you, where are we next week? At Rockingham. So best of luck to you at the Rock next week.
Thank you, buddy. I'll be going for it the last two. So
Fair enough. Fair enough.
appreciate you. You do a great job. Wish I could finish better, but it is what it is.
Well, I appreciate it, my friend. Best of luck to you next week.
Thank you.
Let's take a look at what happened to Chris Smith here, as that truck is a mess. You see him there just inside the top 10, as that angry pack of wolves in front of him are going after each other. There's beating and banging going on behind him that we can hear. Oh, he just hand grenaded an engine. He just hand grenaded the engine on that Toyota. And like I mentioned earlier, front end damage will do that to you every time. That brings us to caution number 10. Yeah. So let me know in the live chat, how many of you are playing the at-home drinking game? Lane Hosler checking in, your defending series champion. Lane, wish you were here tonight, my friend. But I can understand you not wanting to be involved in the carnage here tonight at Martinsville. Working lap 109, make that 110 now. 109 in the books. And, I've often asked that question, that if I do leave here tomorrow, would you still remember me? I've asked that question time and time again, and people have told me a resounding F no. So, allow me to give you the flying fickle finger of fate. And I love Leonard Skinner, so no, I will not be singing Freebird because I have way too much respect for Ronnie Van Zant. That man was an artist with lyrics.
Hang on, we're not going green.
And I am an artist when it comes to not cussing on the air.
Green flag, green flag.
As we are back underway now. Some battling going on here just inside the top 10. The Shane Calhoun and Larry Stubblefield going after each other. And look who's there. Tom Richter back with them. Stubblefield and Richter have not gotten away from each other all race long. And they have been just beating and banging on each other. Now Pack and Stubblefield starting to heat things up as Morrison and Nelson Richter turns Stubblefield and collects himself. We are back under caution. Oh! Ken Halen nowhere to go. Let's watch that one again. Stubblefield and Richter almost getting into each other on the previous lap there. Richter going to get into him there, beats on him, bangs on him, turns him, and eats the inside wall himself, comes up the track, and collects a lot of trucks. This is what Ken Halen saw. Just came around the corner and there was just trucks everywhere. Stubblefield able to limp it back to pit road. The only problem is that truck's a mess. It's been shortened up by about 2 feet. Edmund Kenny was last down pit road on lap 77, as we are going to be 40 to go right now. Morrison was last down on 66. And third place, James Nelson, was last down on an 84. Those guys might have to pit again. Now, Ken Pack was last down on lap 100. He should be able to make it. James Rayburn Jr. was down on 108. He should be able to make it. Fred Garcia was last down on line 90. He's probably going to have to come down for a splash and go. Tom Richter on 106. He'll be able to make it. Trevor Ryan, Justin Carey, Tim Cook, Jeremy Moore, all down pit road this time. They should be able to make it from here without problems. As Tim Cook, Ken Halen, Nate Brown, Larry Stubblefield, Abram Ghostin should be able to bring it home from here, although they are lap trucks now. Only 13 trucks left on the lead lap. The 52 of Halen being the last one of those. Lights are out on the pace car. It peels on off the head down pit road going into 3. Handing the lead of the race over to Evan Kenny. Kenny going to have the button. What type of restart is that Liquid Death Toyota going to get?
Green flag, green flag.
One of those. He gets a good one. As Nelson stacks up the inside line behind him. Pack able to get by Nelson. And Shane Calhoun trying to make the fresh tires work. Sorry, old tires work. As he's leaning on Trevor Ryan, who's got fresh shoes on the Rogue Energy number 18. Carey and Rayburn go door to door. Carey's had one of the trucks to beat all night long on the fresh shoes. Works to the inside. Richter slams the door. Oy. Carey putting in work right now, trying to get by Richter to get back into the top 5 at least. Here comes the 18 of Ryan on the outside. Richter's got to worry about both of them as they've got the fresher shoes. Carey finally gets the run, gets the clear in the middle of 1 and 2. Now the fight goes to Trevor Ryan. Ryan all over the tailgate of Richter now. So those two guys trying to use some pit strategery to work their way up through this field. Morrison and Pack putting on a show for a second now as well. Oy. Justin Carey just reset fast lap of the race with a 19.72. That's moving because he's now working on Nelson for 4th. Catches the curb, loses the front end. Nelson had gone wide. Somebody's into the wall. And that was Ken Pack. What happened to Ken? Here you see him battling with Jeremy Morrison. Just a little too aggressive on the throttle pedal, coming off of 4 and parks it at the wheeling sign. Speaking of wheeling, if you're in the iRacing server and you have yet to drive the Wheeling Tour Modified, the NASCAR Tour Modified, you owe it to yourself to try that car. It is so much fun. But that's going to bring us to caution number 12. All right, then. Excuse me, sir. Whenever you get time, may I have a couple moments of your time? Whenever you're free. I'm sorry for bothering you. I'll go away now if you'd like me to. Just all due respect, sir. Well, sorry, but I'd like to pick your brain. Yeah, we'll talk later. Sorry about that, folks. As we are back under caution, 26 laps to go. Be 25 at the line. Evan Kinney, Jeremy Morrison, James Nelson, Justin Carey, Trevor Ryan, Tom Richter, James Rayburn, Fred Garcia, Ken Pack, Shane Calhoun rounding out your top 10. Ken Ayland and now Jeremy Moore gets the free pass to put 12 trucks on the lead lap. Sorry, Tim Cook in 13th is your last truck on the lead lap. Nate Brown currently 1 lap down. Abram Ghostin currently sits a handful of laps down after having to tow. So Kinney has the button as the pace car peels on off. Morrison looking to go with him. Carey on the outside looking to not get hemmed up there.
Green, green, green.
Green flag comes back out and we are back underway. Here come, oh! Morrison a little twitchy going into 3. Going to open the door for Carey to get back by Trevor Ryan. Ryan looking to the inside. They're beating and banging for second. Carey and Ryan, this is your battle for 4th as they are still door to door. 22 laps to go. Kinney continues to show the way. Morrison sideways. Up into the marbles. Can he save it? Yes, he does. But he has hemorrhaged a ton of spots down to 7th. Meanwhile, this battle for second rages on as Evan Kinney's over a second up the road. Now, Nelson was last down on lap 84. Ryan and Carey were down on 118. So they've got almost 20 lap, a little over 20 lap newer tires. Oh, hang on to Trevor Ryan. Round goes Ryan and the caution comes out. Let's watch this one back. As he was right on that razor's edge. You can see him using the rear brake to free that truck up. And he's just going to overcook it going into 1. The 7 braked early. Oy, Justin Carey nowhere to go, but Tom Richter was able to sneak on by. Oh, that is a mess. Looks like all the wheels are still attached. That's the good news. Better news, if you're a Trevor Ryan fan, he was able to stay on the lead lap. $18 laps to go. That man, Evan Kinney, looking to take all the marbles home tonight. So far, has most laps led. But I can guarantee you Justin Carey's going to have something to say about it. As he still has the freshest tires in the top 5. Let us know who you're pulling for in the live chat. Thank you all for making us a part of your evening. If you haven't done so already, please give this video a thumbs up. I know I sound like I'm begging, but it really does help my bosses know that I'm doing at least a mediocre job with these broadcasts. You know, the more thumbs up a video gets, the more likely I am to get paid. And I don't get paid a lot for doing this. But, you know, it really does help my bosses know that I'm doing the right thing with a thumbs up for this video. So help a brother out, will ya? And if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button and turn on bell notifications, because Sim Racing Media has racing every night of the week. Sometimes double and triple headers. Matter of fact, we got a quadruple header going on right now. This is one of 4 simulcast races that are going on Sim Racing Media right now. As we get ready to restart with 14 to go. Richter looking on the inside of Nielsen, coming down out of turn number 2, drag race. Nelson able to get a better run. Gets the clear, trying to run the high line. Nelson getting a better run in that second lane. Nicely done, sir.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Ah, crap. That looked funny. And I don't mean funny haha. More like funny netcode funny. I'm not sure there was actually contact there. The 82 has problems. He is a lap truck, unfortunately. Oh no, they did touch. And Morrison just lost the front end, got the truck completely sideways. Caution comes out. And I'm staring at the steak knife again. Next time I see Martinsville on a schedule, I think I'm going to call him dead because I'm out of sick days. Evan Kenny, James Nelson, Tom Richter, Justin Carey, Ken Pack, James Rayburn, Ken Aylen, Shane Calhoun, Trevor Ryan, and Fred Garcia running out your top 10. Jeremy Moore and Nate Brown rounding out your lead lap trucks. That leaves Jeremy Morrison, the first truck, 1 or more laps down. Unfortunately, he has had to park it, being involved in 2 cautions tonight. So that does open the door for Abram Ghostin to pick off another spot. Instead of coming home in 13th or 15th, come home in 14th, provided he stays on track. Because he's got enough time to make up those laps that Morrison's ahead of him. His lights should be going out on the pace car this time by. Kenny gonna have the button in the Liquid Death Toyota. His pace car is in, coming into 3 and 4. Kenny leads him around into the Geico restart zone one more time. Going to restart with 7 laps to go. Wastes absolutely 0 time jumping on the loud pedal. That opens the door for Richter to get side by side with Nelson again. Nelson, though, going to have to tiptoe it just a little bit. Richter's got the fresher shoes. Nelson is using that second lane to perfection, though. Gets a little bit better run off the corner. Just bombs it in there. Gets that truck to rotate. Jumps back on the loud pedal. Opens the door for Richter, though. Nelson and Richter still side by side. Battle for second rages on. And Evan Kinney's got to be loving this in his rearview mirror. I'll tell you, somebody that's not loving it is Justin Carey, as he's hemmed up behind both these guys on fresher shoes. Richter finally gets the clear on Nelson. Now Carey can go to work on the 7. 4 laps to go. Can Carey get back into a podium position? The answer right now is a definite maybe. And with the runs that Nelson is getting off the corners, the answer is going to be no. As we are 3 laps to go, we're going to stay with this battle for third. As Kenny now has popsicle sticks in the air. 2 to go. And Kenny is flat checked out. He's a second and a half up the road from everybody. As your battle for second starting to heat up again. Nelson is getting some runs. Richter's going to have to go on the defense. White flag is out. We are officially racing back to checkers. Check it in. There is Kenny. Abram Ghostin going to have to do one more lap here as Kenny crosses the line to take the checker flag. Richter crosses for second, Nelson for third. Carey and Pack rounding out your top 5. Trevor Ryan, after getting dumped, recovers to 6. James Rayburn plus 14, tied for biggest mover with Fred Garcia at plus 14. Jeremy Moore in 8th, and Shane Calhoun rounding out your top 10. As we are going to reach out now to the driver of the Liquid Death Toyota Tundra. Congratulations, Evan Kinney.
Thank you, Tony.
What a drive you had tonight. Led the most laps. You had one of the most dominant trucks. Pit strategy paying off perfectly.
Yeah, it really did. I think I thought I made a mistake on the pit strategy, pitting a little bit too late after everybody else did and put myself in some bad track position. I got into it with Jamie, and I didn't really know how I was going to go from there, but it ended up working out, so I'm happy about that.
Well, it absolutely worked out for the best, but, talk us through, how bad was the tire wear tonight?
With all the caution laps, wasn't bad at all, so I wasn't too worried about it. I still had 2 sets of tires left, and I think I've got plenty left on what I got now until I light them on fire like I'm about to do.
Fair enough. You've earned it. Burn them down, my friend. But next week, we go into a track that, in my opinion, is underutilized in the iRacing servers. We go to the Rock, Rockingham International. What are your thoughts going into North Carolina next week?
Well, I lucked myself into a win the last time we went there, so maybe it'll happen again. But it's a tough track with a lot of character, and it's not going to be too easy, but it'll be fun.
All right, Evan and Kenny, congratulations on the victory here tonight at the Paperclip. Who do you need to thank before we let you go celebrate with one of those famous hot dogs?
I want to thank Fred for his incredible patience tonight, putting up with whatever this was, and shout out to my Brownie Racing boys for practicing with me and getting me ready for this.
Absolutely. Enjoy the virtual grandfather clock, and we will see you next week at the Rock.
Sounds great. Thanks, Tony.
And joining me now, the man who finished runner-up to him, but not for lack of trying, the pride of Allentown, Pennsylvania, Tom Richter. Tom, you had an up-and-down race, but good grief, you were right in the thick of those battles all night long.
Yeah, Tony, I think we started 10th or 11th, so
I have you as +6. So that would
okay.
put you around 8th.
Oh, okay. I guess I qualified a little bit higher up than I remember, but yeah, it was tough. I mean, with the cautions, with the way that they fell, Justin and a couple of the other guys, they all pitted a little bit earlier than I expected them to. I think they pitted on like lap 25 or something. I pitted on 40, and from there it was just they would pit, then we would pit, and we would kind of meet in the middle. But luckily, at the end of the night, we found ourselves on the inside line on some of the last restarts, and we were able to get around the 7 there. That was a tough battle getting around him for second.
Well, you guys were slugging it out all night long. I don't think you got more than about 2 trucks away from each other from the word go 160 laps ago.
Yeah, I mean, Martinsville is a very tough track to run. Very easy to miss your braking points, hit the curb. There's a lot that can go wrong here. Luckily enough, I mean, the people that I was around tonight, for the most part, ran very clean, was very careful about what they were doing. But also that's twofold, right? Like, you need to be watching what's in front of you, watching your mirrors, and allow them the room to make the mistake, so that you're not putting yourself in a bad spot.
Absolutely. But Tom, we go into another tricky track next week, an underutilized track, as Evan Kinney pointed out, a lot of character to that track as we roll into Rockingham, North Carolina, for the penultimate round here for season 15. What are your thoughts going into the Rock next week?
Well, my thoughts is I hope Evan and I are putting headlights on our truck next week, Tony. Actually, Rockingham was the first race that we ran earlier last season.
I remember.
We were side by side when the lights went out, and Evan got me by just that much, but it was a lot of fun racing with them last season, so I'm looking forward to doing it again next week as well.
All right, Tom, who do you need to thank before we'll let you go celebrate with a Martinsville hot dog? And thank you, team, for a second place finish.
I don't want to hear anything about a Martinsville hot dog. I had 8 of them yesterday, Tony. Oof.
How can you stomach those things, man? I mean, just they say,
awesome.
Martinsville hot dogs are awesome. No. You need to go to Oswego Speedway up in Oswego, New York, and get one of the hot dogs from there. And I'm going to tell you right now, you'll never eat another Martinsville dog.
Well, I've never been there, but I've been to Lebanon Valley. But
that's a little bit further west, but you need to go up the road a little bit to Oswego, for a super modified race, and get yourself an Oswego Speedway dog and a bag of popcorn that's been staled by the methanol fumes.
Tony, I want to first thank you for doing this. I want to thank my teammate for running with me every week. He had a up and down night as well. He finished on the downside of it, outside the top 5. Thank Freddie and all the admins for putting on a great league here. I want to congratulate Evan on the win. I think there might have only been one other truck that was faster than him, and that was Justin. Unfortunately, he didn't get a top 3 tonight, but I want to thank everybody for coming out and having a fun race tonight.
All right, Tom Richter, congratulations on a podium. We will see you next week at the Rock, my friend.
Thank you, Tony. Have a good week.
So that is going to do it, I believe, for us. We do not have James Nelson here in the Discord server, so let's go to the results. Evan Kinney and Tom Richter, we just heard from both those gentlemen. James Nelson coming home in third. Justin Carey, Ken Pack rounding out your top 5. Trevor Ryan, James Rayburn, Jeremy Moore, Fred Garcia, Shane Calhoun, your top 10. Nate Brown just outside the top 10. Ken Aylen, Tim Cook rounding out your lead lap trucks in 13th. Abram Ghostin in 14th after having a great run. Unfortunately, ended up on his lid through no fault of his own. Larry Stubblefield got collected in that one as well. Greg Barnett had an up and down night. Jeremy Morrison, Brian Toole, your top 18. Jamie LaRoque and Chris Smith rounding out your top 10. Dominic Rossi, Tommy Osborne, Mike McCray, and Steve West, I believe, was up in race control tonight, getting scored in 24th position. That is going to do it for us tonight. Be sure to join us tomorrow here on Sim Racing Media as we've got a full day of racing ahead. In the meantime, this is Tony Trapasso reminding you, ladies and gentlemen, that until we meet again, and as you walk down the road of life this week, do me a huge favor, don't play in traffic. Good night, everybody. Done and dusted. And I am alone.